Good morning, children. I welcome class 9 children for physics class of concise physics of ICSE. We are now moving to chapter number 2, that is motion in one dimension. Chapter name motion in one dimension, which speaks about anything about the motion of a body. We begin with the quantity. Quantity, any measurable value is a quantity. That is a physical quantity, that we know. Now, quantity can be physical if it is measurable. This is to be measured. And on this measurement, we use the scales. For that purpose, we have a scalar quantity. We have a vector quantity. Two kinds of quantities, scalar quantity and vector quantity. A scalar quantity is one which has got magnitude, but it doesn't speak about any direction as such. So, a scalar quantity, it has magnitude only. And that magnitude is the numeric value associated with the unit. Unit is the important note here, that it says the category of the quantity, the classification of the quantity, the family of this quantity belonging to. So, the unit. Sometimes the constant numeric value does not bear any units. Like pi, its value is constant, e square, the value is constant. So they are not supposed to be having any unit with that. Still then they are scalar because they don't have any direction vector as such. So a scalar quantity. So a scalar quantity is one which has its magnitude only. Say length is 5 meter. Length being 5 meter, which direction 5 meter, that hardly matters. That doesn't matter here. Upside, downside, left side, right side, whichever side. So it is a scalar quantity. The scalar quantities are many in number. You can check from the list. It is there in your textbook also. Length, mass, time, temperature, area, volume, density, and big list is there. So you must get into as many number of this list you can remember. For the scalar quantities, mind that it has only the magnitude. It doesn't have any direction spoken in. So it is scalar. The scalar should be written. Any physical quantity actually is written in the way that is n into u. N is the numeric value. N is the numeric value. And u is called the unit. This together gives an expression for physical quantity. So a scalar quantity should also be numeric value and unit, but no direction. A thing moves a distance 5 meter. It's correct that the movement is 5 meter. It follows the path. How much path is covered is 5 meter. Which way it follow the path, that doesn't matter. It moves in a straight way. It moves in a curved way. It moves from left to right. It moves from right to left. Whatever it is, it should be only 5 meter as such. A scalar quantity can be added easily, can be multiplied, can be divided, can be subtracted by simple arithmetic rule. So it's a scalar quantity. So a scalar quantity shown here as this. Now side by side a vector quantity. A vector quantity is one which has practically 3 umbrellas. One is the magnitude, the second is the unit as it is in scalar, and the third special umbrella it is in, and that is the direction. So it should have magnitude value, that is numeric value. It should have unit and it should have also direction. Also, direction should be there. This direction can be clearly mentioned. Say a distance is 5 meter, it has a meaning. Displacement is 5 meter, it is not clearly spoken. Displacement being 5 meter, you have to say which direction. North side, east side, upside, downside, lateral, leftward, rightward, which direction? So unless the direction is spoken, that cannot be assigned. That's why it is a vector quantity, because it is direction bound quantity, whereas scalar quantity is a direction free quantity. Scalar quantity is direction free. Direction free. It is direction bound. It is direction bound quantity. Now, this can be displacement, velocity, moment, moment of force, momentum, force, torque, that is moment of force. There are many as such there, you will read time to time. Check from the list, that is a vector quantity. Quite a long list there also. Time to time as it comes, it will be mentioned what is what. As work, energy, power, they are scalar quantity. Similarly, the vector quantities are many in number as such. So these are just to remember the list of it and learn them, that what they are actually. So they have magnitude, they have unit, and they have direction. Three things. Magnitude means numeric value. Unit is in which the quantity is measured, and the direction, what it is moving on. Next we read about the rest and motion, though these terms are very much opposite in meaning. A body is said to be in the rest if it doesn't move, because the rest and motion both are related to the movement. Yes, movement, there is motion. No movement, that is rest. But this movement is not very clearly understood if it is simply said as the movement. So movement is a relative factor. Movement is not a free, but it is not an absolute, but it is a relative factor. Movement with respect to what? Movement with respect to what? That thing is important. So a body is said to be in rest if it does not change its position with respect to a reference point, with respect to a reference point on its immediate surrounding. Now two terms I am using. One is a reference point. A body is in rest with respect to a point. A book is lying on the table with respect to the point at the table. So with respect to this, the duster is kept on the table, box is kept on the table. So that table becomes a relative or a reference point. If the duster is moved from the table, that means table remained in the same position, but the duster moved away, that means its point of reference changes. That's why it comes in motion. So is rest. So a body is said to be in rest if it doesn't change its position with respect to a reference point in the immediate surroundings. The word is immediate. The surrounding means all around the object. But all around the object, the visible part is immediate surrounding. There are many surroundings which are invisible as such. As you are in one place of the room objects are all immediate surroundings. If you are in rest position, they are not in motion, you are in rest. But if you look around, there may be many other objects which may be moving, which may not be in the rest position, but we don't know it. But we can just understand that only the immediate surroundings we can refer to, because they are visible and they are understandable at this point of time. So the rest is there with the body doesn't make any change in its position. Side by side, motion. A motion is one in which the body moves from its position, body changes its position with respect to the reference point in immediate surroundings. The surroundings, with respect to that, the body moves in. We say, a train is passing by. You are standing at one point at the station. The train is passing by. The train is passing by, it is because of the fact that you being a position, you being a point, with respect to that point, the train is changing its position. So the train comes into the motion with respect to the point at which you are standing. So you yourself become a point of reference, and the surrounding happen to be the same way the surroundings happen to be in the state of rest. So the train is said to be moving. So rest and motion both happen to be there depending on the factors. These factors are relative. Which relative factors? Like motion as such is not an absolute term. Rest as such is not an absolute term. Both are relative terms. The fact is, when a body is resting in a vehicle, the vehicle is in rest, the body or the person